I saw the signs and I ignored it. Rose-colored glasses all distorted. Set fire to my purpose and I let it burn. You got off on the hurting when it wasn't yours. Yeah.
Welcome back.
To Marriage Beyond the Veil.
So that's a cover of Lose You to Love Me by Selena Gomez. And wow, this is a really powerful song. And one that sort of really spoke to me because of something that I'm dealing with right now for a really close friend of mine. And this verse, rose-colored glasses, all distorted, set fire to my purpose, and I let it burn. You got off on the hurting when it wasn't yours.
Yeah. If you listen to the song, and by all means, please listen to the song.
I'll put a link.
Lose You to Love Me. It clearly speaks about a relationship where the one person really could care less about what was meaningful, what was valuable to the other person, destroyed it, didn't care. But she comes to the place of understanding, I had to lose you to love me.
Mm-hmm. And this is really key because one thing she says, I put you first and you adored it, set fires to my forest and you let it burn. Sang off key.
In my chorus.
Because it wasn't yours.
Clearly denoting anything that was of value to her had no value to him and he could care less. But again, denoting I had to lose you to love me. And when you think about that, there are a lot of people who have toxic persons in their lives. They may be in relationships with, and they don't love themselves because they have this other person basically tearing them down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being a distraction and not giving them an opportunity to love themselves.
I gave my all and they know it. Then you tore me down and now it's showing. Okay, so that is so deep on so many levels because that is what a person who is really trying to work on a relationship will do. They will continue to give their all. They will continue to give 100. And the other person just takes and just tosses it aside. But that's not a love relationship. We've been in a relationship now. We've been married for 34 years, working on 35 years. And I can only tell you that if this was my reality a long time ago, I would have had to walk away. There are times that a relationship is not going to work. Unfortunately, it is.
Well, and in those situations, you can't place the blame at one person's feet.
No.
Because even if one person in the relationship is being victimized, is being abused, you still have to take ownership as the one that's being victimized, as the one that's being abused. What was your part in it? Right? Mm-hmm. What did you do to facilitate it, to allow it to continue? And I'm not saying blame the victim, but what I am saying is, in a relationship, people stay in relationships whether it's healthy or whether it's toxic because it's feeding something.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes it's feeding the fact that you don't want to fail. Sometimes it's feeding the fact that you don't want to be alone. But if I have to lose you to love me, you got to go.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You can't be in a situation where you're doubting everything about yourself. You're doubting who you are, what you represent. You're doubting your faith. You're doubting everything because you're giving what you feel like. And like he said, it's not ever one person's fault. It's always both of you. But the reality is, if you got to lose someone, to love yourself, then you have, because you can't love somebody else if you're not loving yourself.
Right. You can't give away what you don't have.
You can't.
And, this song is definitely something that a lot of people, I think, would benefit from listening to the song and then assessing, is this me? In either position. But if you're not able to love you, as RuPaul would say,
Right.
how you going to love anybody else? The reality is, don't allow anyone to be such a distraction or someone who is so toxic in your life that you can't clearly see, that your rose-colored glasses have been distorted.
And you set fires to my forest,
And you
let it burn.
Until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Have a good evening.